Amy Juergens is easily one of the most hated characters in the secret life of the American teenager. And it's crazy because she's the main character. How y'all let that happen? Brenda, honestly, I feel like most of that hate is undeserved, especially in the first 2 seasons. I actually like Amy in the first 2 seasons of the show. I know that's crazy to say. She has her flaws, I'm not denying her flaws, and we're gonna get into her flaws, but I like her. I just feel like she's misunderstood. I feel like so many people give Amy in season 1 and season 2 so much flack, but forget a few key things about this little girl. For one, she's a little girl. Now, I don't want to get on here and downplay the knowledge of a 15-year-old, but we're talking about Amy here. And we get a window into what Amy's life was like in the first episode. And she was just your average suburban kid living her average suburban life. Go to school, go to band practice, maybe hang out with friends, come home, eat dinner, go to sleep, wash, rinse, repeat. A stable home, 2 loving parents, or at least what she thought was 2 loving parents at the time. She was in her own little suburban bubble. And then she met Ricky. Things went down, and before you know it, that bubble popped. Now we have a kid having a kid, along with her parents divorcing, along with having her first boyfriend, having her baby daddy being troubled. We're just gonna say troubled for the moment. We're gonna save Ricky for another video. I mean, in a matter of a couple of months, not even months, in a matter of 2 weeks, this girl's life went from the average suburban girl life to a complete mess. And she now has to deal with the fact that she has no choice but to grow up quick, because you're about to have a child. But her mind is still in that little bubble. So of course, she's gonna think that nothing's gonna change other than the fact that she's having a baby. And that her mom can just take care of it when she needs to do or wants to do the things that she wants to do. Her mom take care of her, why not take care of the baby? That's all she know. Of course she's gonna think that getting married to Ben is about to just magically solve everything. I mean, everybody's parents around her is married. Her parents were married at a certain point. And when her parents were married, they were stable. Everybody's parents around her, married, stable. Why would she not jump to that conclusion? But she eventually has to face reality with both of those bubbled in misconceptions. And that's Amy's arc in season 1. Her mind is still stuck in that bubble. And for all intensive reasons, it should be. She's 15. She shouldn't have to be pushed out so soon, but hey, you have a baby coming. You gotta make something move or things will go bad quick. We're watching this little girl have to face the hardships of real life, such as income, how you're gonna feed your child, how you're gonna clothe your child, having to deal with people that you don't necessarily want to deal with, but you're in a situation where you kind of have no choice but to. And yeah, she makes a couple of decisions that's self-centered, but before this baby, what was her reason to not be? Now that is a character flaw. I'm not gonna shake it as not being a character flaw. It is a very obvious character flaw. And it will continue to be one going forward with the show. Now that flaw should have become less and less apparent as the show went forward, but we're gonna talk about that later. For now, let's talk about Amy in season 2. Now this is a season where everybody just unanimously agreed that Amy is horrible. This little girl is evil. Listen, I'm not going to defend everything she does in season 2 because she's very obviously just being a little dickhead. Like, one thing that she does in this season that I cannot stand is when she says things intentionally to hurt somebody, but she says it in a voice, in a tone, where it's like she's trying to let you down easy.
I'm gonna get what I want, and you're not.
Bro. Hold on. Or the worst thing, she does that multiple times, by the way, but the worst thing this little girl does is try to make Ben feel some type of way about him leaving to Italy and Ricky getting his own place.
You really want to leave me here for the summer when Ricky's getting his own apartment?
Oh my God, you disgusting!
What? Like, what do you mean by that, man? Listen, I'm not for Ben's whole jealousy arc that is like so annoying. But when you say things like that, how can you be mad at him being jealous? That came out your mouth. You just made it apparent that that is a possibility. How is he not about to come back feeling some type of way after that, man? That's an easy breakup to me. Cause you basically saying he has a chance. If I go and just try to enjoy myself for 2 months to make some bread, you got a chance of getting back with your baby dad. You got me messed up. What? Ben should have dropped her right then and there, but the show must go on. Ben's horrible too, but we gonna get into that later. Oh my goodness, that gotta be one of the worst things Amy's ever said, and they just brushed past it like it was nothing. No response towards it. and Ricky is laughing in his face about it, bro. Oh no. Amy has her issues this season, to say the least. But for the most part, this is a 15 to 16-year-old girl who, for the majority of the time, for at least raising the child on her own. Everybody who said they would help is of no help. Ricky only comes by at night for the most part, which I'm not judging him for that. He has school and work. He gets off at night. He kind of has no choice but to do that. This is just the course that she's dealt. She's mostly raising the child on her own, and she's dealing with postpartum depression, which they don't say in the show. You can see it very clearly that this is what she's dealing with. This is a girl who just a couple months ago, her life has never been disturbed like this. And now she's waking up every other hour to feed a child, change the diapers, go to work. She don't know what a job is. She never had to deal with none of that. On top of schoolwork, on top of homework, on top of her parents' messy drama. So when she shows up to school or talks to people in the house and she has a bit of a stank attitude, it should at least have a level of understanding, not excuse. It shouldn't be excused. She should learn to watch what she say. She should learn to control herself, but she still should have a level of understanding. And the show could have helped with that if they had just given the audience one little scene, one montage. The same thing they did in season 1 in the first episode, where they showed how Amy was so scared and nervous of the potential of being pregnant going into the doctor's office. That was a great scene in my opinion. It was showing how this young child is in this position that she really has no business being in, a position that she's really not prepared for. It gave the audience a level of sympathy and understanding of what she was dealing with. And they could have done the same thing in season 2. Had they just shown Amy actually dealing with these stressful things. You always have her talk about how stressful the baby is. Show it. Give us one little montage. I'm telling you, that would have saved a lot of her character in season 2. Because word of mouth don't really do much for us. But a visual representation of what she's dealing with gives her character more of a back for the audience to be behind her. You're like, all right, she's doing a little too much right now, but we understand why. Things like that would have done so much work for sympathy for Amy in season 2, but they didn't give her that. So for the most part, when people watch season 2, they give her none. They give her no sympathy. You gave them no reason to. Word of mouth can only do so much, but a visual can do 10 times the work if you do it correctly. And I feel like people don't talk enough about how Amy does grow in season 2. Yes, she's still self-centered. A lot more self-centered than she was in season 1. But hey, she did grow. And that growth carried on into season 3, where Amy was the most mature and level-headed she has ever been and ever will be in the show. Season 3 Amy is the best Amy, and there is no competition about it, man. Yeah, she get a little bugged out when she hear about Adrian and Ben getting married, but in fact, in season 3, instead of Amy talking crazy to people and her doing people dirty, being self-centered, it's the exact opposite. People are doing that to her. Adrian is a dickhead. Amy constantly trying to put her hand out, and Adrian constantly smacking it away. Honestly, I hate the friend groups in this show. That's one of the worst aspects of it. Why are these people friends? None of them like each other. Not a single one of these people like each other. They all talk crazy behind each other's backs. All of them. But in this season, Amy's doing the best that she can for Adrian, even when she has no real reason to do so. Ashley all of a sudden becomes a little gremlin. Like, I don't think a single nice thing comes out of her mouth this season. But more than the characters doing her dirty, I feel like the writers did her dirty. Brenda, Come to the front. Let's talk. This cannot just be me. Does it not feel a little malicious that out of nowhere, after Amy is so excited to be accepted in this music program, things are finally going in her favor. All of a sudden, they just reveal, hey, Amy actually sucks at playing her instrument. She was never really good, even though we know she's in advanced classes and band. I don't think she would be in the position that she was if she wasn't good at what she does. But hey, season 3 turns out she sucked, and she agrees. I'm sorry, that feels malicious. I don't know what little beef Brenda had with Shailene Woodley, but for this girl to have this dream all this time and then it just get kicked to the wayside, it's crazy. But she replaces that dream with a new dream of becoming a teacher, and I would be perfectly fine with that. I am perfectly fine with that. However, when Amy says she wants to be a teacher, that is the last time that plotline ever gets visited ever again. She never brings it up. She never brings it up. She never takes steps forward to pursue that. Nothing. That is such a wasted character arc for her. Discovering something new, taking strides to achieve that. Shoot, just like I said in season 2, what's showing instead of telling us about Amy's struggles as a teen parent, show Amy actually being good teaching kids. Show her teaching John things and him understanding, like colors, counting to 10, something small like that. It would have showed us something like, hey, she got something here. So when you eventually reveal that she wants to be a teacher, the audience can back you up on that. We be like, hey, that actually sounds like something she could do, because we seen what she does with John. Or one little scene in the nursery. One scene in the nursery wouldn't hurt at all. It wouldn't hurt to get a bunch of people with no speaking lines in the background with some kids here and there, and showing Amy doing something that gives us a spark in our brains. Like, yeah, she's good at this. She has potential here. Then you reveal that she wants to be a teacher, and we're like, hey, that's only something she could do. But instead, you just have her say, hey, I want to be a teacher. Never bring it up again. She could have had a good master and disciple relationship with one of her teachers, kind of similar to what Ben had with the guidance counselor in season 1. Just adding another layer into Amy making this career choice. This is just a big wasted potential plot line that could have added another branch to Amy other than the relationship drama. Now, the show is mainly relationship drama, so that's not a big issue. But everybody else has at least a couple more branches of them, other than just relationship drama. And it kind of seems like you just cut off that completely for her to explore her career in basically all that she's engulfed in for the rest of the series. And that little piece of character assassination was not the end of it. Because once we get to season 4, oh boy.
I'm not gay. I'm deeply heterosexual.
Oh man. Who is this girl? She was so good in season 3. She was moving forward. I'll even give you the beginning of season 4. I like the beginning of season 4. It's after episode 13 that things just revert back to the bullcrap, and it's hard to defend this because she's made her growth. Why are you making her go back to the mess? That is proven to not be a favorable thing. Their very annoying self-centeredness. By this point, she should understand and get that it's not just about her anymore. Having her leave her child in an entire different state across the country. She over here in New York and her child is over here in Cali. What you talking about? Season 3 Amy would never. Season 2 Amy would never. Season 2 Amy near the end, because early season 2 Amy would definitely do that. But the middle to end season 2 Amy would never do that. Season 3 Amy would never do that. All of a sudden season 5, where she should be the most mature, she makes the most dumb decision. You trying to be a teacher? What you doing in New York? And listen, there's a couple things I understand about this plotline as well. She's overwhelmed with the pressures of getting married. The pressures that in reality nobody put on her but herself. You and Ricky are still children. There's no rush for marriage. And I would have loved if they made that very apparent in the show and made that a thing in the show. But no, they rushed it. And basically for the rest of season 4 and season 5 just gave us Adrian and Ben Part 2, and then have them break up at the end of season 5, giving us Adrian and Ben Part 2, giving us George and Anne Part 2, giving us everybody else Part 2, because Brenda, come back to the front. Stop repeating plot lines. Goodness gracious.
Do something else!
Why does everybody in this show only get together and try to get married for children? Why is everybody in such a rush for marriage? You've done the plot line one too many times. With the marriage thing, with the getting married only because of the kids thing, with the pregnancy thing. Goodness gracious. Brenda, learn to write different. Do something new.
Do something else! Do something else!
She even gave us characters in season 5 that was just Ricky, Ben, Adrian, and Amy mashed into 2 characters. Throw them away. Gone. I'm not saying that by season 5, Amy should be a complete angel, a saint. She should still have her flaws, but getting to the point of complete character regression, we're at a point where Amy is acting the same way she did when she was 15. I mean, come on. What are we doing? What are we talking about? If you had just slowed the marriage thing down, the proposal down, if you had just honestly let Amy and Ricky be the odd ones out of being growing love. One of the only cases of growing love in the show. Starting the show out, not caring about each other at all, only dealing with each other because of their child. Going to season 2, having affection towards each other, and then immediately going to hate the very next day. Then we get to season 3, and they grow affection. That affection grows more into actual love. You can have a small tidbit of them trying to talk about marriage because of Adrian and Ben. We can have that small little thing, but have them agree that, hey, maybe we don't need to rush things like they did. They're rushing because they have a child. We have a child and we didn't rush things. Let's continue that. You could add a couple complications here and there, but it would have been so much better to watch a growing love, one of the only cases of it in the show, than to watch the exact same thing happen to the main characters that you do with everybody else. And by having Amy follow the exact same blueprint as everybody else in the show, you've in return assassinated the character of Amy Juergens. Brenda, that's enough talking. Get back. Back up now. We're done.